Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, I want you to pay a very close attention to this video.
Unitazame kwa sababu zamani tulikuwa tunafukuza pepo, na pepo ambayo tulikuwa tunafukuza hatukuwa tunaiona, lakini kwa sasa tunafukuza pepo kwa sababu tunajua pepo anaingia katika mtu, na mtu ndio anakuwa pepo. Mtu anakuwa mtu mzuri, mtu anakuwa mtu msafi, lakini pepo ikishaingia kwa huyo mtu anageuka. Hata kama ni mtu mzuri, unashindwa huyu mtu amegeuka ni nini? Na hiyo ndio pepo tunataka tufukuze hapa. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Pepo katika jina la Yesu Kristo. Wewe bado sijasikia. Mnakumbuka siku wakati tulikuwa pale, wakati rais alikuwa deputy president, tukaingia huko akatuita, mimi ndio nilichoma hiyo pepo.
Now, why do you think I've chosen to bring on board that video? It's very simple. I've discovered that President William Ruto has decided to revert back to his old strategy of campaigning. You know, we all know that he used the church successfully to climb the ladder to the presidency. But let me be honest with you. We all know that the person who brought on board most of these churches was Pastor Dorcas. She is accredited to that because her being a pastor, she had to convene a conference of pastors, and that's why pastors came on board and supported William Samoei Ruto. But maybe that was not expected, the reaction that came from the Archbishop, that if you saw the body language of William Ruto, and you saw how the Archbishop was delivering that statement, and the words which were used there, most likely, I am 70% sure that that message was targeted at the president. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. So I want us to break down that video bit by bit and possible consequences of that kind of video. But before you do that, please like this video. It's so important if you like this video, because that is the only way YouTube shares our content to many people. Please subscribe. I've discovered that many people watch our video but they forget to subscribe. Please subscribe to enable this channel grow. Thanks so much for that support. When William Ruto chose to attend that church ceremony at African Divine Church for their 73 years anniversary, the expectation was that he was going to try to probably hold them back into his faction so that they be part of the campaign team or mobilization team for his 2027 election, because that is the target. Ruto knows very well that Rigathi Gachagua is going to employ that tactic of using the church, because the same day, if you observed what happened, I think it could have been in Bomet County, Kalonzo Musyoka and the brigade of the other faction of Azimio were in Bomet County. I think it could have been Bomet County, I don't know, Turkana, Bomet County, but it was somewhere there in Rift Valley. What did they do there? They went there, and again, a meeting was in a church. So you realize that these leaders have embarked on using the church again to propel themselves to the presidency in 2027. Of course, Rigathi Gachagua is going to use that same strategy. But you see, it's going to work for Rigathi Gachagua, but it might not work for William Ruto. I don't know that you've observed that that is going to be the possibility. For Rigathi Gachagua, it's going to work because he will say that we made promises, and these promises were not delivered, and the government was quick to kick me out, but it's not quick to deliver the promises that they made to Kenyans. So that is going to resonate well with most of these church pastors, these pastors and reverends and the archbishops. Also, the churches have had to go through bad policies that the members of parliament formulated in a way to try to contain them. This is not something that they wanted from this government. They thought that the government would protect them. But according to them, they are saying that the government is going after their tithes. Their, the contribution is church. They want the church to remit taxes. They want the church to remit so many things. They want total disclosure of everything that goes on in church. So that is not something that the church leaders want. Most of these churches, the pastors in these churches, they use the church to propel themselves to richness. That is the reality. We can't run away from that fact. But the government also knows that there are pastors who are taking advantage of congregates to propel themselves to richness and taking money unfairly in the name of tithes. Some of them take money in the name of tithes, offerings. But the question is, where do these offering or tithes go to? That has always been the biggest concern, ladies and gentlemen. So because William Ruto knows that that is the case, and some government officials know that that is the case, they want to control these tithes, these offerings, because they are in their numbers. So because that is the case, the church doesn't want that to happen. And then there's the issue of regulating churches. That has always been the case here, ladies and gentlemen. During 2022, they fought Raila Amolo Odinga, saying that Raila Amolo Odinga wanted to control churches. And then they said that they were not going to control churches. Churches will be free. People will be free to worship. When they come on board, they push the same narrative of controlling churches. So that is why you realize that statement that came from the Archbishop, that statement is spot on. And it is a statement of a leader or a church that is already determined to make to correct where they went wrong.
Unitazame, kwa sababu zamani tulikuwa tunafukuza pepo, na pepo ambayo tulikuwa tunafukuza hatukuwa tunaiona, lakini kwa sasa tunafukuza pepo kwa sababu tunajua pepo anaingia katika mtu, na mtu ndio anakuwa pepo. Mtu anakuwa mtu mzuri, mtu anakuwa mtu msafi, lakini pepo ikishaingia kwa huyo mtu anageuka. Hata kama ni mtu mzuri, unashindwa huyu mtu amegeuka ni nini?
Just like I told you, if Rigathi decides to settle for the church, it will work to his advantage. And if Rigathi coalesces with, or rather forms a coalition with Kalonzo Musyoka, the church will be able to wreak its anger on the government if that happens. So this is what we are confronted with, ladies and gentlemen, because just like I told you, the church was used by this government to win more votes from the congregates. That worked to William Ruto's, according to William Ruto's plan. But this time round, it might not work according to William Ruto's plan, especially after the way or the manner in which he kicked out Rigathi Gachagua, even after the church trying to advise him to look the other way around and solve this matter amicably. He still went on to push Rigathi Gachagua out. So that explains why the church is not happy with this government. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to raise my case here. What do you think about this statement coming from the Archbishop of African Divine Church? Just go below on the comment section and offer a reaction. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.